Hey you guys, I'm aware we still have a few teething issues with sound and lighting, but we're working through it and the discussion is pretty good. So I hope you enjoy the show. Hey you guys, welcome to the Steele Wars Hyperchat episode 3 as that intro music fades off into the distance. Beautiful. Like a warm memory of theme songs past. But now we're in show and this is the Steele Wars Hyperchat episode 3. And we are live streaming. We are on demand on podcast. If you are listening live, you can call in on 646-668-8360. If you are on Skype International, add a +1. Now, are you guys, is this cord moving around fine? Okay. Rashad, do you have your microphone tonight?
I do. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Rashad. Are the cords okay?
The cords they're settled.
Okay, because you pulled that face.
I did make a face. I'm known to make faces.
Okay.
I'm a man of many.
We need you to be more of an emoji. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like big grin, big frown, or just nothing. Because the big frown, that worries me in my broadcasting career, which...
I need to find my sunglasses so I can have the Jason emoji.
Okay, you need to stop talking. But speaking of Jason and his sunglasses, please welcome back to the podcast from MakingStarWars.net. It is the sunglassed one himself, king of spoilers, the prince of pretentious sunglasses indoors. It is Jason Ward.
I just don't want to let people down.
Well, the Brez would be very upset. He's a big fan.
If I don't do the flannel and I don't do the shades, people complain. I'm just giving the people what they want.
Not my Jason Ward.
Hashtag that.
Hashtag not my Jason Ward. And a new of the... why did that just start?
I get a theme song.
Music. So good. Welcome from the Who's First podcast, which is by the Knights of Rain.
We're called either. Don't worry about it.
But please welcome to the podcast, Courtney Everett.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I am happy you're here as well. Your podcast, Who Talks First? It's you and your roommate Solo.
Yes.
And it's I
Thank
love
you.
it. Such a I'm used to. I know what Jason's opinion's going to be most of the time. But
Good ones.
Just the perfect ones. Yeah. Only opinions.
But yeah, I love hearing your take on Star Wars and what you like and what you dislike, all that sort of stuff. And we actually met.
We did.
That's not a surprise to everyone. Everyone watching here is surprised that we've all
met before.
But we met in the line for the Jimmy Kimmel Star Wars special.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was so exciting.
That was the best of times.
Oh my god. Yeah, I still get a little like pitter-patter thinking about it and like shaky. I was so nervous, even though like we were just in the audience. But that's the first time like I went to see everyone else at like Celebration, and I'm sure this will come up. I like Kylo. I think he's a neat dude, and so this is the first time I got to see Adam Driver. And so even 40 feet away, I'm like, he's bingo list. Everyone else at Celebration, but hadn't seen him before.
Were you a fan of girls?
No, and I will end. No, I'm not.
All right, I've a wound.
I'm not.
If you see it, you can't unsee it. So don't watch it.
Well, I never watched it, but I caught an episode when my wife Jackie was watching, and I was shocked at what Kylo Ren was doing to his in the episode I caught.
Yeah, it's a little too for me. I've tried the show. Everyone's a little bit too awful to each other, and I'm like, I need like I need to be rooting for someone, you know, and I just couldn't do that. I mean, I only watched the first probably season and a half trying to get into it, but I mean, this was back when it first started.
I do like that you don't like people awful to each other, but I think you've got at least 3 Twitter accounts. The home is awful. I'm
an enigma. I just refuse to let anyone know who's actually me. I'm pretty sure people don't know. Like the Knights of Rant Twitter account is me, the Core More Twitter account is me, and also the Squadron Goals Co. account as me, but I don't really ever like that it's all the same person. Not on purpose. I just do it because I think people assume, and then I get accused of stealing my own artwork all the time. They're like, "How dare you?" I'm like, "Oh no, I just have accounts. I'm sorry."
Yeah, I'm not a plagiarist. I've just got a personality disorder.
Yeah. And my podcast goes by 2 names, and it's just impossible to like pin me down, you know?
Are you like in fan witness protection?
Yes. And now I gotta move again. Here we go.
Sorry,
Gosh,
mate. Sorry,
I really
mate.
liked my podcast name too, and now I gotta change it up.
And you do a really good like merch site as well,
Yeah,
the
thank
Squadron
you.
Goals. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I run a merch site. This is actually like my full-time job. It's called Squadron Goals, and it's on Etsy. And I kind of make just Star Wars inspired. I do a lot of pins. I do pillows and charms, just kind of like knick-knacky stuff. But it's all stuff that like Star Wars wasn't making, and so I decided to make it. And I've been able to do that full-time for about 2 years now. So
Nice.
yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
That the character pillows are dope.
Thank you.
I am in for that. I saw that you're doing like an open call
Mhm.
for characters, and I'm pretty tempted to send in a long list.
A long list. Here we go. Please do these.
Please do Luke Skywalker in every outfit, please.
Everyone. I want to do double-sided pillows eventually. So like one side will be one outfit, the other side will be like
Whoa!
I know, crazy stuff.
Whoa.
Groundbreaking.
You need to do like the old wrestling ones where when you squeeze them, they made noises.
I will look into that. I will go to my manufacturers and be like, "Hey guys."
But and the good thing about doing that is that you don't have to get the voices at all close at all,
No.
as many actual licensees have proved. You just need someone of the same sex
Yep.
reading the line.
And my voice is pretty low, so I mean, honestly, I could just go for the male voices at this point.
Great range.
Yep.
Great range. Okay, before we get to the calls, let's go through some business. What's going on? We just put up on YouTube the full-length Last Jedi reaction at the Scum and Villainy, which was titled The 1 Month After The Last Jedi. Jason, you were there in your sunglasses.
Yeah.
And Kyle Newman, Anthony Brezikin, Ash Crozen, Jason Ward, and Laura Syracuse. And if you want a very pleasant conversation with people that thought very different things about The Last Jedi live
Very different.
at the Scum and Villainy Cantina, check that out. It is people enjoyed it. I think it was so weird when we put it out. People were just, because it was out in podcast in January, and people were just like, "Oh, I can't believe no one got angry." And it's like, we're talking about the Space Wizard film. There's nothing to be angry about. It is fine.
Mhm.
So you guys can check that out. We've also got the Details interview up in full on YouTube and podcast. He played what is that character?
It's like Toll Doysley or something.
Quay Tolsite.
Tolsite.
And he's getting a figure.
Oh, is he?
Hasbro just announced that they're going to do a figure, and I think it was on the Force Link thing. There was like a hologram or something, and D did say he shed a tear that he's like finally, after 4 Star Wars films, going to be a figure.
This is his first figure out of any of the characters?
Yeah, he's been a Lego man before. So, but he's the best. Check that out. And to support the podcast, you can join the Content Club on Patreon. And we've got a new tier, the $1 tier. And that gets you every episode that we've ever done and all the call-in show bonuses and the bonus show to this show. And if you want to go for $3, you get all the extra exclusive podcasts. We do one.
We do one
called Making Steele Wars, which just came up. We did a double episode.
That's right.
Which is pretty sweet. So $1 a month helps us because we've got to get it up to a certain level where we can do this show every week. It's more of every 2 weeks. Too much Star Wars news, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Way too much. Or we'd start a Patreon to have less Star Wars news, and then our every 2 week cycle would make more sense.
I would love that, to be honest. It'd be a lot less stressful for me.
What's stressing you out about Star Wars right now, Courtney?
Just a lot. I just want everyone to be like quiet for like 2 weeks, you know? And can't we just like be happy and talk about things we like for like 2 weeks? And then people can go nuts again about whatever's happening. I'm just very sleepy.
Today I had a guy in my Twitter comments say, yeah, I don't think I like them anymore, but it's fine. I'm just going to go do something else. And I was like, wow, really? I was like, I respect that. Have a good life, dude. Like it was the first person ever in history of Twitter to ever just say, like,
To ever
you know
be
what?
cool with not
It's not for
liking
me
something.
anymore. Check it out.
I actually,
Cool.
I talked to a guy on YouTube that he just didn't like it
Mhm.
and was sort of just like, yeah, I didn't like it. I was let down. It wasn't what I wanted to happen. And I'm just going to chill out and wait for the next one. Hope I like it more.
That's why I like spoilers. You know what you're getting.
Yeah. I was super into Transformers when I was little.
Mhm.
And halfway through the first film, Michael Bay one, I was like, oh, this isn't for me.
Mhm.
And then I just didn't go see any more Transformers films. But I once did see one. It was on in like a Best Buy. So it was on every screen. And I had to get treated for a concussion. It was brutal. It was so much twirly
rough, buddy.
metal things. Twirly metal things. Very crazy. All right, guys. I was going to say a little technical difficulty, but we had a major technical difficulty in that the entire blog talk system was not working and we couldn't take your calls. So I apologize. We had about 12 people on hold. So, but we'll get it. I think it's actually just a blog talk. I think they're just glitching at the moment because we've never really had a problem with that. But we're going to continue on. And if you're watching live, either ask questions in the chat room on YouTube, and Rashad will keep an eye out for that later in the show, and he's just finding out that's his new role, or tweet us on Twitter, which is the best place to tweet anyone. If you're going to tweet anyone, keep it on twitter.com, okay? Don't just... all those pretenders, just keep it on Twitter, okay? So you can hashtag Hyperchat, and we'll keep a lookout for that. But let's get on with the show minus the intro. And I have to say, Annalise and Clayton, I'm very sorry about our technical difficulties that you guys can't join us. They were waiting there with their little FaceTime cameras. But you guys, it's hard to set up a TV studio in your house. And Randy, my sound just dropped out there for 2 seconds. So, but we're going to do the what I like to call the tweets of the week.
Ooh.
And we made this graphic we've got here. It's pretty sweet. And
Those porgs look stupid.
I actually just tweeted this out today that I needed a quick Photoshop. And Blue Milk OTR came to my help, and he does the Blue Milk on the Rocks podcast.
Okay.
So
That's a good name.
yeah,
Shout out for the name.
I'm going to be checking that out just to say thanks. And these tweets have been curated by myself and your buddy John Bishop, who does a lot of stuff for your site. You can follow him at JM Bishop JR. So I'm considering he must be JM. Is he junior? Is that what's going on?
Sure. Let's call him Junior.
Well, he works for you. Why don't you upgrade him to senior?
I call him John.
What about Esquire?
John Esquire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever met an Esquire, Courtney?
No, the only junior name I know is Deuce, which is awful. It's also what we call my brother, which I hate. So.
What do you mean, juice?
Like, you call juniors Deuce because they're the second.
Ah.
Oh, but like no one realizes that's also a name for like a poop. But side story, that's what we call my brother, and I hate it.
Okay, well, that's some family.
Yeah.
Let's go to the tweets. The first one is I select 5 tweets every week.
Okay.
But this first one doesn't count. This one's one of my polls.
Bonus tweet.
Right, yeah. So I love doing polls on the Twitter. That's a great place. And this one was very interesting. What was your number 1 Star Wars saga film this millennium? So post that Phantom Menace, that was 1999. So and why? Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, The Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi. And the weird thing with I think it was like what your favorite Disney Star Wars film was. And The Last Jedi won that one as well. Now, all that means is that some people really like it.
What? I'm shocked.
Oh, somebody went on a Star Wars Twitter and voted for a Star Wars movie, of course.
Because the good thing about these polls is anyone can vote on them once for every Twitter account they have.
Right.
And you don't have to follow me to vote. So we've got 7,779 votes. So that's a pretty wide vibe. And this is the interesting thing I always find, like, because there's the people that follow me, and then it gets out to more retweets and stuff. And it's always like The Last Jedi is like in the first 6 hours, The Last Jedi just kills, slays. But then as the poll gets more out to the internet, then the most it's always the most graphic Star Wars film. So the Rogue One made a big last minute rally.
Did it really?
Yeah, out of the Disney ones, which is fine. But I always sort of take that as almost a protest vote. Yeah. And Revenge of the Sith made a big rally towards the end. I have to say, I watched the first half of The Last Jedi 2 days ago, and it was way better than I remembered it. And I'm a fan, but I was watching it just like the whole the opening battle, and some people have an issue with the hugs thing. I'm just like, whatever. I actually thought it was funnier when I thought it was Hux.
Oh, I didn't realize it was hugs until way later. So the joke just kind of went numb on me until someone was like, "Oh, he's saying hugs." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even notice." So I'm not even mad about it because I didn't notice.
Yeah, but I thought the joke was just that he couldn't hear, that it was just like a Bart Simpson ringing up Mo Sislak's tavern. I didn't I thought it was I thought it was funny that he was prank calling him.
Yeah, it's funny on its own.
And then the hugs thing, I was sort of like, oh yeah, okay. I think I'd rather it as Hux. I think the hugs thing, but it's a little thing in a 2 hour and 15-minute movie that I slightly disagree with.
I'm out.
But so the opening battle, it's perfect to me. I have to just totally rip out any sense of reality that metal bombs can go in a direction, which I love. I love that people can't imagine that a bomb can fall in space, but hyperspace travel is real. What do you think we've got more likelihood of inventing in the next 100 years?
Bombs probably falling in space.
Yes.
Which is so sad on just a lot of levels, but that's probably our priority, not gonna lie.
That was my answer entirely when you asked me.
Yeah.
That before, it's exactly that.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think it's
Poor Attack of the Clones, though. I mean, it's not the best of them at all. It deserves to be in that position. But 3%. It's
weird. Attack of the Clones has some of my worst parts of Star Wars and some of my favorite parts of Star Wars.
Yeah.
It has my favorite line. Attack of the Clones has my favorite line of all Star Wars.
Which is?
The good job that the Obi-Wan's, and they're like, "We came here to save you, Master," and he's just like, "Good job." That's my favorite line in all of Star Wars.
And it's
really deep too.
And a compelling act out.
Yes, indeed.
So let's go through the other tweets. Do you have any thoughts on that, Jason?
I'm good.
You good? Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Dave Filoni, happy 10th anniversary. The clones are headed back to Comic-Con, and so am I.
I'm very happy.
You need to the whisper quiet emotion isn't going to work in the audio medium.
I'm so happy. Is it gonna be an ASMR podcast? Hold on.
No.
Here we go.
Don't get Jason started about that.
I love ASMR. It's so funny to me.
Here we go.
So you're a big Clone Wars fan.
Yeah, I will say that's, to this day, my all-time favorite Star Wars thing. Above any movie, any book, comic, whatever. Clone Wars is my favorite. So this I'm very excited about.
What was the first Star Wars film you saw in a theater?
I think it was probably Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
I don't remember much, but I remember Revenge of the Sith. That was a big one for me. Revenge of the Sith is probably my second favorite Star Wars movie overall. But I think Attack of the Clones was the first one.
Okay. This almost commemorates my 10th anniversary of my last viewing of the Clone Wars film.
Oh, yeah. We don't need to talk about the film. We talk about the series.
I never went back to watch it. I saw it at the cinema and just went, okay, that's
I never think about Rhoda. I just want to see what he's up to.
Nah.
Little Rhoda?
I'm going to watch it. I think I'm going to have to watch it just to, hopefully my memory is like, I feel like I'm more flexible now, Star Wars wise.
It's still not great. Someone who's like, I still rewatch it. I rewatch the Clone Wars a lot. And I'll still start with the movie. Still not great.
Are you going to San Diego Comic-Con?
No, I'm not, sadly. I wish.
Well,
just for this. I would only go for this.
I'll ring you and tell you all about it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna try get audio of it. I've sent in a request.
Yeah,
so.
that'd be awesome.
We were discussing this on Now This Is Podcasting the other night, Jason, that went up today, and Corey was very excited about an announcement at the end. Now, I told him, Corey's our friend, very enthusiastic, and his big smile can turn into a big frown with just a snap of a sold-out Funko Pop, all right? So things can get very dire very quickly. And so I was telling him, I was like, don't go in expecting an announcement, because if that's what you're pinning your hopes on, there's a huge chance you're going to walk out very sad. However, I've devised a scenario. 10 years, right? What if they did the end of like what they want to do, like a movie to wrap it up, and they announce they're going to put it on the streaming service? I think that, I don't think anyone should go in with that hope, but it's a scenario, and it would be a pretty sweet olive branch to everyone that loved the Clone Wars. But I don't want to get people worked up for it, but I kind of feel like there has to be some zing at the end.
Yeah.
You got to close with
resistance. That's like the whole thing is when I was talking to him about that, I was like, dude, they have a series that hasn't come out yet that's animated. Like, nothing's for Clone Wars, man. Like, it's going to be Resistance. And so my guess is that at the end, they're like, yeah, then we went on and we did Rebels, and now we are at Resistance, and then they show us something. Little something.
What if there's a Clone Wars character in it?
Oh,
I'm trying to
will be.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, if Filoni's involved, he loves his characters that he's attached to. Why wouldn't they show up? And we have in Rebels Ahsoka living for past Return of the Jedi, stuff like that. So they could take that there if they ever needed to or want to.
Freddie and Jason both admire Ahsoka's coming back to life skills.
Mm-hmm. Not a fan? Not a fan of the...
Courtney, open up.
Yeah, come on.
Don't be so bottled up.
I don't like being like, because I know a lot of people were really excited about it. I was not. I love Ahsoka. I love her. I was not thrilled with her living through and like just like chilling through the events of the original trilogy. I was not thrilled with that.
Well, I wanted her to die in Rebels when she meets Vader.
Yeah.
In that episode, like that's where it really should have happened.
It should have happened. Like Vader.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's so heartbreaking that that was such a perfect death for her, because for Ahsoka to go out, Vader should be the one that kills her. As gross as that sounds, but like it was so good. It was so good, and also in the way that they have to do like children's cartoons, they obviously can't like show you, but like you just assumed you didn't see it because it's a kid's show, and it's not like Clone Wars where they got to be a little more grotesque. Rebels was a lot more kid friendly, and so you're like, all right, we just know what happens. But I mean, instead it was like, oh, never mind, Ezra, just we'll save her later.
Yeah,
but I was not a huge fan of how Rebels wrapped up personally.
Me neither.
Mm-hmm.
Me neither. But I actually liked it more than I think I should have.
Mm-hmm.
But I just didn't go in the way that. But I actually went into it going, this is going to get mystical, and it's not up my end. So I'm just gonna hope everyone else likes
it's definitely, it hasn't like stuck on me. I'm definitely over it. But...
Yeah, I always thought like the Ahsoka versus Vader thing, for him with his eyeball, like to have a bit of Anakin, and it's very hard to like. For like a man to go, and then he killed her, like, yeah. But I think that would have been the most poignant way for her to go out, and also would have enhanced Luke Skywalker's achievement in redeeming him at the end of the Return of the Jedi.
I agree with you completely.
Yeah, because like having Ahsoka like as well, it's like, ooh, how many like little chinks in your armor do you have? Like Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, Dark Order, the Sith.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it should be cool. It should be very exciting. Have you heard anything about it, Jason? No. Good audio there for people listening on the podcast. He's shaking his head, everyone.
Yeah. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Rashad, if you've got any questions or anything from the chat room, you can jump in and ask.
We got one question through Twitter.
Great.
So give me 1 second to pull it up.
Okay, sorry, buddy. I didn't mean to put you on the spot there.
It's okay. Just juggling, 100 things. Cool. So
He's literally got one thing in each hand.
literally, Rebecca O'Hanlon asks
Nice.
to everybody, what's a good order to introduce Star Wars to your tots? Do you start with an animated series like Clone Wars, or get into the original trilogy first? Mine are 4 and 3, and haven't watched anything yet, but are showing interest.
I have no idea because
That's a
my
good
child
question
is
for
not
you.
born yet. But I do have on the way, and my current strategy is to cover him in spoiler garments and products, and then the movies will just be an afterthought. That's how it's working out right now. Jason, how do you do that?
What you do is you just watch Star Wars all the time, like you normally would if you're me. And then eventually they're just walking, and then they see something, and then it catches their eye, and then they want more of it. Like that's how it works. You can't say what it's going to be. Nobody knows. Like when I was it's about 3 years old, coming downstairs in my apartment, I saw just a kid playing with an AT-AT driver. That's what started it for me. I was like, that toy is that. I want that.
That's the one.
That looked, and he had like the little emblem on his shoulder. I'm like, yes.
Remember the vintage AT-AT drivers? No, yeah, the vintage AT-AT driver, the Stormtrooper version.
Yeah.
That photo he had on the vintage Kenner card, and it was like a black, like it was like the white helmet with like nothing in the background. It was just black. I found it so scary when I was little. I was just like, I don't want that figure. He looks like the super nasty, because I hadn't seen Empire Strikes Back yet.
Yeah.
And I remember just thinking, because I saw Jedi before Empire. I don't know what's going on. Australia, right?
Everything's upside down.
Yeah,
It's backwards.
Yeah, we count differently. We don't have a 5.
Man.
No, but oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you go.
No, my son saw Darth Vader, and he wouldn't stop talking about it when he was about 2.5. Like learned how to say Darth Vader, just became like a whole thing. And so like that's the best way, is just letting it go, and then they feel like they discover it. But if you like take like a small little kid and you're like, okay, we're gonna watch A New Hope, the best Star Wars movie, it ain't gonna happen. It won't work out that way.
Is it weird, like when The Last Jedi came out?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it ruined all our childhoods.
Yeah.
But what was it like seeing your child, mid-childhood, have that ruined live?
Yeah, it was interesting because Kylo's his favorite dude. Loves Kylo Ren.
Your son's a cool dude.
He's pretty rad. Luke Danger, he does it.
His middle name literally is Danger.
Yeah.
You are a great parent.
I know. I've set him up for success. But when he saw that film, when it was funny because we took him the first time, and then the second time we saw it in the theater, normal theater, we took both of the kids.
Mhm.
And Penny, my daughter, was like, calls Ray her Ray. And when Ray's on, she's into the movie. Ray leaves, she's checking her imaginary watch. and he's the same thing with Kylo. So it's like one kid is happy but when they're both on screen at the same time, peace, popcorn,
there.
drinks, good times.
I met Ray at Disneyland on Friday, and I love Ray. And I've had the privilege of getting to interview Daisy Ridley, and I was very... I'm not sure I breathed much during it. Like, just because she's like just... But this employee of Disney at Disneyland, which is the best place for employees of Disneyland to get employed, she did this faux British accent that I was melting. I was just like, you've done such a good job.
Oh, good.
She's like, I want you to set up a resistance base on Earth. And I'm like, I've been waiting for you to ask me this for a long time. And she almost broke character, which I was very happy about. But guys, if you're at Disneyland, they've got some legit rays in that launch bay next to some very unlegit Star Wars props. But get in there. And I'm not sure if I'm getting taller or Chewbacca's getting shorter. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, the last time I went to Disney World, we had a pretty short Kylo, and my boyfriend was actually taller than the Kylo, and I'm like, you are not intimidating anymore.
I love that Chewbacca. There's like 5 or 6 different Chewbacca costumes.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on my Instagram, there's like pictures of my kids with Chewbacca's. They love to meet him, but every single time, different like Chewbacca.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, did I ruin it for you still?
No, it just sort of hit me.
There's more than one Chewbacca.
No, it just hit me. I moved to the other side of the planet to hang out with my friend that monitors the Chewbacca costumes at Disneyland. I don't know. Mistakes were made. I need to go back to that place where the number 5 doesn't exist, where normal people
Pros
live.
and cons.
Yeah, I
know.
know.
Wear 'em out.
It's tough.
Like at the solo premiere with big old Falcon there, and I'm like, that radar dish isn't accurate.
Oh my god.
Not my Falcon.
Where were those tweets? I didn't see those.
How did you enjoy the premiere? I know you got some awesome photos. There's the photo of you. Was it on Collider? And it's of you.
Oh, it's the ugliest photo ever.
No, it's a photo of you getting a photo with Alden.
I look like a cheese ball.
You look happy.
I am really happy. The premiere itself was really great. I don't love Solo, but the premiere and being able to go to the premiere was so awesome, and like getting to see everybody, and I got my pictures with Alden, and I got pictures like Billy D, and like Billy D was the one I was like a mess over. I was so excited about that. And then I got a really far away selfie with Ewan. He was like 20 feet away, and then he was like way back there. It was great. I hung it up in my wall.
I didn't see him the whole time.
Neither did I.
So
he was elusive. He just like ran in, and I just tried to like fake a selfie that I can just like circle it. I'm like, I swear to you, that's Ewan. You can't tell because he's a blur, but it is.
From a certain point of view. Hey, we've seen the same movie. Hey, yeah.
But it's also only
What's your favorite Chewbacca costume at Disneyland?
Definitely number 3. That's the one.
The thing that killed me was the photo of Mark Hamill and Ewan McGregor talking at the after party, and it just kills me that I was in that room and not just lurking next to it.
What
was it? I was making this. I was getting my little Lego Millennium Falcon. I was building that. I was building Jason one, and I missed out on seeing Mark Hamill talk to Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was pretty sick. But do you like how I put it in the little?
That's really great.
So I'll pull this out for everyone to see.
Rest in peace, dinosaur.
There you go.
Or was it?
It was a dewback.
All right, so it has the dinosaur.
That is some good Star Wars collecting there with the piece, which I got from little Disneyland, little glove, little oven mitt. Let's go to the next tweet. Talk about that one. This is one of my favorite tweeters, Jason. You know I'm always talking about him.
He's good. He's good.
From Lucasfilm, Phil Zostak. You reckon?
I'm going with Sostak.
I was going to message him today and say, please phonetically tell me. Phil.
Yeah, we need that.
Phil, please send me an audio file of your surname. Okay, please. It's hard. I've come to this country. I'm just learning the language. Give us a break. All right? I'm dealing with this new number 5. There's a lot going on. My friend here is counting Chewbacca costumes. Blog Talk's not working. Courtney's having a meltdown.
I am.
But
I always am.
I love his feed, and this is the interesting thing with all the people that really don't like The Last Jedi and talking about the EU and stuff. It's George Lucas he was happy it was there. Yeah. He was happy everyone was enjoying it. He didn't like it. He wasn't that into it. He used Coruscant as a nice little nod, but he also wrote over all of Karen Travis's clone army books. What are they called? Clone Commando or something?
Yeah, Evan Piel dies in a different way in the Clone Wars series. He's supposed to already have died in Coruscant Nights. Lucas just ran through it. He didn't care. Like Boba Fett, Mandalorian stuff, all different. It was completely the EU prequel era stuff was just wrecked.
Because it's his thing. He doesn't like his whole George Lucas's whole thing post like American Graffiti was just I want to do my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna make it. And
he could have had this Disney era of Star Wars himself.
Yeah,
he could right away. He could have said, "Oh, it's 1983. I'm gonna raise some kids. Hey, go make the movies." And Kathleen Kennedy could have started back then or something. Yeah, in no interest in that concept of other people playing with the stuff. I mean, even look at Clone Wars, the show. He starts like hands off, kinda, and then by the end of it, he's like completely giving lectures on what the Force is at like round tables.
But also his whole, I'm just going to do what I want. I even like there's parts of it I find annoying, like the fact that the Clone Wars is not chronological, and I need someone's like amazing like list to know what order to watch them in. And especially when it's not chronological and everyone looks the same.
Yeah.
Like all the clones they live up to the advertising. They are very similar. So it was very hard to follow for someone that's not watching paint schemes and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, so Phil's tweet is a George Lucas quote, which I always love. Now, there have been novels about the events after episode 6, which isn't at all what I would have done with it. Once Vader dies, he doesn't come back to life. The Emperor doesn't get cloned, and Luke doesn't get married. Star Wars creator George Lucas to Total Film in 2008. So this is the thing that like always bothers me with like Star Wars critiquing. It's like, you don't like it. That's fine. You don't need to make up stuff about other people not liking it. You don't need half a sentence from Mark Hamill. Yeah. Like it's okay. When anyone sends me like those compilations of him saying stuff, it's like, yeah, I can edit stuff out of context to make, people sound miserable. It's quite easy. I can try to use Blog Talk Radio and make myself quite miserable. It's quite easy.
That's what like reality shows are. It's just like editing certain quotes and putting it somewhere else to make it sound like they're feeling this. I'm watching a lot of America's Next Top Model right now, so this is where this is coming from.
I did ask you to do that to have
the research.
Yeah, thank you.
You are welcome. I did this for you. But yeah, it's really great to have like quotes like this that are just so to the point of like this wasn't George Lucas's, the EU wasn't his stamp, when so many people assume it is, that like this was what he wanted. And for him to just be like, Luke doesn't get married. There you go.
They were his checks, though, that came in from the book sales.
Oh, yeah.
They've forgotten that there were tiers of canon and that he was G canon. And G canon was the gold standard. Mm-hmm. And everything else went into different, like, kind of, I don't remember how they all broke down.
I know there was, like, an A canon, B canon, C canon, and they all didn't.
Somewhere, like, down.
Dare they?
The way it went, man.
That truly is my Star Wars.
Yeah.
In Australia, the Ewok adventure movies were at the cinema.
Really?
Because we're rubes that would pay for it.
Another pro for Australia. Yeah.
It was good. But sadly, it was just me, 3 of my friends, and a guy up the back with his hands down his girlfriend's pants, which I didn't realize what was going on at that time.
That's a party.
Yeah.
Bumming hard, man.
Wow. Those steamy Endor nights.
Oh,
the guy who plays Mace in that series, he said that when they were filming it, he was told that was like 200 years after Return of the Jedi.
Really?
Yeah, it was like way after. Like,
Wicket aged really well.
I guess they're like
better than Chewbacca.
They must live longer than Wookiees. So he's like 15 for 100 years.
You know how people... Oh, now it's on the internet, so you get to see people every day. But at school, there was always a kid that would just make stuff up. And so I remember this calling you out, buddy, calling you out. You had a good trampoline, but liar.
Sorry, that's a loud laugh.
Hate you, Matt.
He saw the trailer for it. Like he said, I saw the preview for Caravan of Courage. And I go, does it have anything from like Return of the Jedi? And he goes, yeah. Trooper wandering around still, they left him. It's in the trailer. So I'm watching it going, where's the Stormtrooper? Because when I used to watch Droids, I was just like, please show me a Stormtrooper.
But did you ever hear that one Ewok who says like Darth Vader? And then it kind of does the breathing? when they're going into the cave.
What?
Yeah, it goes Darth Vader, and it goes. It's in there. I'll find it
In the cartoon or the movie?
in the movie.
In the second one?
I think it's when they're going into the spider cave.
Yeah, that's the second one.
That's in Battle.
When you know how like when you're,
But Battle for Endor is the good one.
you know when you're sort of like, I'm back into Star Wars. I'm gonna rewatch everything.
Mhm.
Like like
Miss you, girl.
after
Get back together.
after high school,
Mhm.
I couldn't watch all of Battle of Endor. When Wicket was spitting English, I was literally like, not my Ewok,
But he like
and I
sticks
couldn't.
his tongue. So creepy.
I don't need to know anything about Warwick Davis's tongue. Anyway, let's see what the next tweet of the week was. This is cool. This is the question someone sent to me about the EU. Steele, I was trying something, and I'm wondering your thoughts. It's from James Capasso. Steele, I was trying something, and I'm wondering your thoughts. I like the new, and yet I still enjoy EU Legends. Is this okay? Marvel books are different than the movies, and I like both. Am I doing something wrong? Please help. And there's a lot of tweets underneath of pretty much saying, just like whatever you like.
Yeah.
It doesn't, there's no sides. Like you can like editing and all that, and you can also like the Aftermath trilogy or vice versa. Like there's no, find what you enjoy in Star Wars, enjoy it. For people that enjoy the stuff you don't enjoy, don't kick their little sand. Let them have some fun.
Yeah, like no part of Star Wars is any more real than another part. So just enjoy what you want, and especially when he's talking about Marvel has like 10,000 universes, like characters doing different things and running off with different people and doing. I just, I mean, they're just stories with the characters that you love. So love them all.
I think it speaks to the power of the word canon, but like what empowers that term? Canon, like when it was George Lucas and it was his, and whatever he said went. It's like, well, and it's his, and you're kind of like, wow. So I think we kind of got into this headspace that means a lot. But now today, I mean, not like but like Pablo Hidalgo says this is canon. It's like, do you care the same way as when it was George? Mm-hmm. All that means is that if these that they're making are working in this canon that's set by these people right now, but that really only relevant if you just assume or be relevant to you, because it doesn't really matter. Yeah,
and I think sometimes knowing too much can spoil films for your taste. Like if everything's too important to you. Like I remember Star Wars, like at Star Wars.
Saw Gerrera being
chill out.
I feel you, dude.
He should have just wore sunglasses all the time, then it wouldn't be an issue.
That blast on Jedi, he's sort of like.
Do you know Saw Gerrera's eyes changed from the Clone Wars cartoon to the movie?
Yes, it was a hot topic.
Thank you.
It's going to be Jason's dying thought.
It's like, oh my god. Well, okay, I'm not sure if they ever established this, because I assumed he had been such like a robot man by then, is that he got new.
That was I came up with this whole headcanon that he had to like get eye transplants to make it through like enemy lines and stuff, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, he was so broken down by then. That's I assumed that.
But I'm like, just write it in somewhere.
I thought it was going to be in the visual dictionary. I was like for sure of that. Easy thing.
You used to have baby blues.
Are we good over there, Rashad? There's so many hand gestures going on.
The audio's clipping out on YouTube, I guess, a little bit.
Okay, like too loud or?
Cutting out.
Okay. Excellent.
Smooth.
Yeah. Once you start doing big hand gestures, Rashad, you also have to glance at me now and then because it is hyper distractive and I worry.
I was trying not to make you worry.
Okay, well.
It was
Mission failed.
counterproductive.
There's always next time. There's always next time. What was I gonna know about the EU? But then okay. I think like it's almost I find with like Pablo and Matt Martin and that they kind of get over the whole canon thing. Like when there was like a video game coming out and someone tweeted and going, "Is it canon?" And he was sort of like, "Oh, I kind of wasn't the first question you wanted to know. Like, if you enjoy the game, what does it matter? Like, the main thing is it's going to be a good game." But I think the main thing about this a little bit that in the 90s, there was no new movies and stuff, so they had to cram all the existing movies information. Like, there was all technical readouts about the X-wing.
But my friend in Australia, he saw the trailer for the movies that were made in the 90s. Friend.
Oh yeah,
he
right
saw
on.
those trailers.
Right
so
on.
They're a real thing.
But I think we were so taken Star Wars fandom in this real technical sort of trying to make everything real and tactile and how things worked and everything linked to. And I have to admit, I got more into the EU and the comic books because they all I found that cool. They all tied in, because it was my understanding Star Trek books kind of they just ended and then it was back to normal for the next book.
Yeah.
And not that I've ever read a Star Trek book. I've watched all TV shows with you guys, but I think we sort of got programmed to put so much importance on the detail and the canon that it's definitely something it seems like they've shied away from now. Is trying to make it also tactile and stuff. But I kind of think it sort of maybe put us on the wrong path as what to put our importance on in Star Wars.
Well, and that Legends concept, which didn't make people who wanted that to still be the canon, didn't make them happy. That really is the best solution. The whole there's some truth in Legends kind of idea. Because then it's you don't really know, some of this might have happened. You could almost read it canon perspective if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is how somebody knows, this is how somebody heard it. But not all interface, but some of that stuff might have went down that way.
Actually, I wasn't that keen on them bringing stuff in. That was down the track, but Thrawn. I was just come up with new stuff. But now I kind of warmed to I like the little Easter eggs for that people read all the books and stuff. So yeah, but just enjoy whatever Star Wars that you like. Now, Jason, this is one of the you've made it, buddy.
Oh no, that's John's article though. So
I
made it in name only.
Gotcha.
I'm the pop star of this tweet. John wrote the song.
Taking the credit.
Do you know the contents of the article?
I do.
Run us through. I bet. I should say Jason Ward, who has little to do with this. He's
little.
You're a plagiarist.
Yeah.
You're a plagiarist. Well, speaking of plagiarizing, did you know that if you edit the end of Escape from LA or something, it's like the end of The Last Jedi? I saw this video and it's it's a rip-off, right? And so I don't watch these videos, but I'm I just have to find out. I just want to fast forward to the bit that I can disprove it, and then I'll leave it. So I just fast forward to it, and it's I haven't seen The Last Jedi times, but I know when it's edited, and it's so it's screen by screen, and it's meant to say this is exactly the same, but up in his shipping one point, and then he's down on the ground immediately. It's just try to edit. And I'm not sure what they've edited on the Escape from LA because I don't.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I haven't sure for ages, but they tried to soldiers walking next to the AT-ATs.
Oh my gosh!
How cool that would be! Rian Johnson, just hired a filmmaker, and he's just "Hey Ram, want to go get some pizza?" Yeah, just copy that movie, and then we'll go get some pizza. They just go hang out for and they turn it into Disney. No one's ever.
I just hope there's soy on that pizza.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
soy pizza,
delicious. So tell us about this article, Jason.
Yeah, just that Kevin Feige. There was a rumor that he was going to be taking for Kathleen Kennedy and all of the doom and gloom rumors.
I want Kevin Feige to take over everything. I want him to be the new manager at my McDonald's. I'd like him to be president of the world. And god damn, I want him to run all of Star Wars. He can do no except for all those films in the middle that were kind of average. He's the best.
Yeah, right.
All the average ones that weren't great.
Yeah.
But Peter Greta from Slash Film spoke to him, got it debunked. Like, he's like, I'm not taking over. And he basically says, like, I'm only going to play with Star Wars stuff in my backyard with my toys. And then Peter,
Can we film that and put that on the big screen?
I'd watch it.
Okay.
So brings in some like old stuff from him, that from past interviews where he talks about, like, you know, putting spaceships together in Star Wars, and kind of like one of the point was sausage being made, it kind of ruins it a little bit for him, and he kind of like wants to, so he doesn't want to be that person, you know. The article itself says things like that if there's rumors about Kathleen Kennedy taking off or like throughout Hollywood and stuff, and obviously Peter has way better sources than anything I got, but the people out there who've told me too, when I like really go on it, it never really goes anywhere that sounds like it came from any place that made me go, oh, man, you know, really? Like, so far, I haven't heard it where I was convinced. But
I never worked out. There was that report about the conference call, you know, with the security guards out the front.
Oh, that's complete BS.
I'm sure there's conference calls all the time. The thing with the security guards and all that sort of stuff, but then someone at Pine, like, why is anyone at Pinewood be involved? Like, if there's no film, like what?
No, I get Pinewood rumors all the time, and they're all grounded in something, but they're never like the specifics of that came off as ridiculous to me. And I think Humberto Gonzalez had the best tweet about that reporter. That was that, yeah, they couldn't scoop ice cream at 31 flavors, let alone a Star Wars film. And that's, I'll take that. You know.
And this is, I'm so sorry Clayton can't be here. He was on the line, ready to go. But our good buddy Clayton at ABC News, Sandell, at Clayton_Sandell, multiple films still in Star Wars pipeline, ABC News. We would have had Clayton here to talk about it, but you know, he's like ABC's owned by Disney.
They got onto us shills and they said, cancel, take down Blog Talk.
Yeah, right.
Conspiracy.
Shake us up.
And we've solved it.
So, you know, Lucas doesn't like comment on rumors. I think the only rumor they've ever commented on is Carrie Fisher one.
Yeah, it was so interesting that they commented so quickly on that. I still find that so interesting. Of all the rumors they've ever commented on, that's the one that they kind of broke their pattern with.
Why do you find it interesting?
Just because, like, it was such like a, well, one, I didn't see, I mean, this could just be from my internet experience. I've seen so much more backlash about stuff like this than I saw about what's going to happen with Leia. Because I think when they came out with it, it was still such a time where people were like, let's just mourn Carrie and not think about Leia. So to me, it wasn't something that was as big as this other stuff. So I think that's why it surprised me that they were like, we usually don't come out with rumors, but we're going to squash this one, is because I'm like, oh, I didn't think people were that up in arms about it. Like, people were obviously curious in the back of their minds, but they're like, let's give it some time to actually mourn this woman that's been so important to us. And
it was personal, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually admire that they did, because it's not like a rumor like Lando's going to be in episode 9 or whatever. There was so much emotion about her death. And I sort of found that people sort of like posting rumors or theories and stuff, it was sort of a bit cruel to people that
makes more sense to why they were doing that.
Yeah.
Like, thinking that way, they're just like, guys, let's just mourn Carrie. Let's not speculate.
Yeah, and I think it's good just to say this is what's happening. Like just to have that uncertainty. I think it was definitely the right thing to do, because I is a sweet plug, but when I interviewed Kathleen Kennedy, it's on my YouTube channel. You can check it out. It's also has some of the most, oh my God, just a YouTube channel, set up filters, trust me. Wow.
I know. I thought being in the Illuminati was going to be so much like easier online than it is.
But it was this thing of like having that vision of what to do with the character and stuff.
Mhm.
Like there's no right and there's no like, and it's so
It all
like it's such a
sucks.
like what a brutal like just being at that meeting going, okay, well, someone that we've worked with for all these years that we love, that everyone loves is dead. What do we do? Some people want this, some people want that. Like,
Mhm.
what was your preference for the outcome?
My preference, okay, like my preference was actually CG, or like not even like CG is like digitally recreating her. Is like I'm sure they have so much extra footage.
They
that
got a lot
could-
of slaps.
Yeah, they got a lot of slaps. She could just be slapped. She can go slap Ben. There we go. It's all there. They can digitally do
Lando
that.
turns up.
Slap.
Snoke comes back to life. Slap.
There we go. Like I feel like could have done enough to keep her present, not necessarily have her as the main character, but enough to like present in the film. But obviously that was the first thing that was squashed, and now I'm like, well, we carry everything sucks. So I don't care. Like I hate to be like I don't. Every option sucks because it's not Carrie. So I don't. If they recast, that would surprise me, but that's been floating around. They kill her in the opening crawl. I hate saying that. Like, if she dies in the opening crawl, I don't like that. But I don't like anything about it. I want Carrie to be there.
What about episode 9? She's alive, but you don't see her.
Because then we can still get the bonus material for the people who want it with more Leia. I would just love the opportunity to have, and so I would love for her to live through episode 9 and just not be there. And I know it won't make it, but I feel like the audience. I was about to say the audience, Star Wars audience, can be forgiving, but I feel like with this they would hopefully a little like. We understand like why she's not there, but why you kept her around. And this was supposed to be her movie. And what we can do is give her content outside of this now because we kept her around.
Yeah, I sort of think the CGI. I think it'd be very upsetting to watch.
I think for me it was like whatever Carrie's family wants, I'm fine with. Like they said they were fine with CGI. Not so much like CGI keeping her main character, but it was like, all right, you can.
She's like at a panel over there.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have all that footage.
Like I want them to.
Because you can do the George Lucas. Like, remember when there was all those making of things when he was making. I don't know which film it was, but it was in like the Jedi Temple, and he's just like, yeah, just Mace Windu just over there a little bit. Like, so you could do like a crop.
Yeah.
So much the
digital recreation.
Yeah.
Like that's what.
Not the Rogue One version,
Yeah.
but just the like cut.
I'm more the cut the paste to be like, okay, she's still around. She's still here because I mean they have so much filmed that we'll never see.
And then for the scenes where it wouldn't work, the characters go into another room, the door closes, and you just hear the slap noise.
There we go.
No,
That's it. Just 2 hours.
Hasbro brings
Carry
out
the
the Leia with slap action, like you squeeze the
We
back.
need it, guys. The new Forces of Destiny doll. There we go.
Squeeze the legs and
And she just slaps.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if they just moved the timeline so far out, like 10 years. You get into that movie, and like Leia is gone. She's died. However they deem fit, and they're on their own truly now. And like Kylo's taking everything. Like things could be really, you know what I mean? Like his First Order Empire is huge, and you could just completely put the audience into like an alien environment like that they didn't see coming. And then that's when Luke comes back over, and then you're like at a good moment that kind of, and then on the way. Like it would be, I think that would be the right answer for me.
Yeah, I don't like the idea ship like blowing up at the start of the film. I think it's too gnarly. It's like the emotion of her. You can't. You don't want to play with that.
I don't want it to be like a violent thing that we see. If they acknowledge her death, I want it to be sort of what like Luke got, this like moment of like, even though Leia isn't like a Jedi, but I don't want her like going out because like Huck shut her down.
But more like a Yoda style.
Yeah.
Just kind of got
she
sick.
She just got tired and rolled over.
This is my best case scenario, I think. We're at Comic-Con. I'm making a lot of Comic-Con Courtney.
Okay.
They're excited.
Just shoving it in my I'm not going.
Well, you know, column A, column B. Why not both? Del Rey, the book panel, I love if they announced a post The Last Jedi Princess Leia book, and then that book would cover her passing, and then that could come out, you know, midway through. You know, maybe they can launch it at Celebration or something, but have a you know, Claudia Gray.
I was going to say that. Give Claudia Gray.
Yeah, give Claudia Gray any.
Give her the book, then make a beautiful story about Princess Leia's passing, and then we can all like take that in, and then the table set for episode 9. Like, do you know what I mean? But give us, you know, a few months to process that, and then we can move on to the movie.
I definitely think they should give us a little bit of a heads up, like regardless, like either way, whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either let us know that Leia is not going to be in the movie at all, because she's not going to be in the movie at all. But again, it's one of those. Do you mean Carrie? Or again, if the recast happens, which again, I don't think that.
Didn't they say it wasn't going to be recast? Is that
I haven't seen a formal statement of recast. It only said CGI in that. I'm totally misremembering, but I just remember being surprised it only said CGI, because I was at the time pretty against recasting. Right now, I'm just kind of, it all sucks, and I wish Carrie was here about all the options.
All right, I'm gonna find this little statement. Lucas,
put your money on it now, guys. What did the statement say?
Well, when the rumors that like Meryl Streep was going to be involved and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think if they had said that they weren't going to recast, that would have just killed that rumor like outright.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen.
It would be an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Got it up.
But it wasn't even like a real rumor. It was.
Jeeves.
Oh my god. Is it 2004?
I'm from Australia.
Oh, I got it. Sorry.
A statement new rumors. This is from January 13th, 2017. That was the day we recorded our Last Jedi action. So there we go. We don't normally respond to fan or press speculation. Boy, don't you know that, Jason.
Oh, they do.
But there is a rumor circulating we would like to address. We would like to assure our fans that Lucasfilm has no plans to digitally recreate Carrie Fisher's performance as Princess Leia or General Leia Organa. Right, yeah, no, you are right.
Nailed it.
So it said no recasting?
No, it did. It just said no digital recreation.
Cross his legs dramatically.
Yeah. and you know,
quiz me about news stories from 2 years ago. I got it.
All right. But after Rogue One too, you could kind of see why they might have felt more compelled as well. They like recreated her in that movie, which was a very weird kind of to do. I liked it, but it was weird.
Yeah, they like that would have been the worst situation if she passed before that film come out. Like, would have been, because I think it was like January 6th. Was it January?
Right before Christmas.
Was it December?
Yeah, I remember this because I was an emotional wreck. It was Christmas Eve is when she had the heart attack. And then I think she died on the 27th. Yeah. And I'm like, I remember this because I was not good. But yeah, she didn't get to see herself.
Yeah. But I think if it like if it had been beforehand, I just like they would have had to have edited the film.
Yeah.
Because it would have been like too crazy for anyone to handle. And we've actually we did a call-in show just past, and it's 2 hours I will never listen back to, but it's a very good 2 hours of fans around the world really paying their respects in a really nice way. Let's wrap it up. Rashad, do we have questions for the after show?
We
Okay, well, we'll do that. If you're watching live, the stream will stop. Stay on the YouTube page, and we'll quickly answer everyone's questions. That's watching live. If you're listening or watching on demand, the after show is just for our little patrons, which you can join us. Just $1. Just $1. You can help this little podcast go. Get rid of our technical defects, and then we can do it every week. Or we don't get rid of the technical issues, and I have a meltdown every week. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Tight
wads.
wads.
Yeah.
And where can the good people of the internet track you down?
At Making Star Wars and Making Star Wars at Making Star Wars on everything else.
Nice. Yep. And Courtney, do you want to list your 27 social medias?
Oh my God. I'm complicated to track down. Women of mystery. My personal account is Coremore, store Squadron Goals Co. And my podcast is at Nights of Rant, but the podcast is actually called Who Talks First. So there you go.
The podcast is awesome. So
I
make sure you
appreciate
check it out. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Rashad, who's
You're welcome.
nice. Thanks to Randy from Now This Is Podcasting for helping us with the audio. And it's not his fault that the audio is down.
I'm not a crook.
And we'll wrap it up. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and we'll have a new podcast episode next Tuesday. So enjoy that, a regular Steele Wars episode. Thank you guys so much. Stick around for the after show if you're listening live or a Patreon, and may the Force be with you.
Thanks so much for watching. If you have a question or opinion about anything we talked about on today's show, let us know in the comments below. If you like the show, hit like, and if you want to hear more, hit subscribe. And if you listen to audio podcasts, look up Steele Wars on iTunes, steelewars.com, or wherever good podcasts are downloaded. May that Force be with you.